on, people? Welcome to Football Carnage, and we are back with another Madrid hype right here for you guys on the channel. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and don't forget to get in the live chat to let me know what you're thinking about any of the topics that we get into. Big up to everybody that's watching. We got a great show for you guys. It's going to be a very busy day. We got Madrid hype going on right now. We're going to have football chaos later. And then right after this, we're going to be doing game breakers on the second channel with me and my guy Edwin. So we don't got a lot of time, but we do have a bunch of great topics to get into, right? We got to talk about La Liga because it seems like they've rejected Real Madrid in terms of us wanting to postpone our first game. We're going to talk about that because I think Real Madrid are moving a bit fraudulent here, and I'll explain why. We also got to get into the contract updates concerning Vinicius. Franco Mastantuono, he's joining us next week. Big plans for him. We're going to talk about what they're saying Xabi Alonso wants to do with him. On top of that, Rodrygo, will he stay? Will he go? We know that there's still like a month left in the transfer window. So much speculation is going on with this player. And then we got to talk about the backup strikers. Gonzalo Garcia versus Endrick. Because it seems like it's going to have to be one of them, not both. And at the moment, it's not looking good for my Brazilian brother. But now look, what's going on, chat? What you guys saying, bro? It's a Friday morning. The weather where I live has been absolutely trash. Like, it's just been raining. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but the weather was so bad that I couldn't really do it yesterday. So then we had to switch it to today. So this is why you guys are going to be seeing me a lot. Like I said, as soon as this stream is over, it's going to be redirecting you to Game Breakers with me and Edwin at about 12:15 p.m. And then we're going to have football chaos later, of course. So let's not waste too much time. Definitely want to get into the chat for a little bit. But again, big up to your damn selves, people. Let's see. What's going on, Rabona? Big up. JC says preseason game. Yeah, I saw. Madrid announced that we are going to be playing a game on August 12th. I will be here. Watch along, of course. My voice sounds low? Nah, you probably got to just turn up your volume, brother. My mic is at a good level. I don't want to turn it up too high because then it'll distort my noise. But you probably got to turn up your phone a bit. But big up, Only Barca. Santiago, what's good, my guy? How are you? Also Magic. Barca talk shit about Madrid very often. Small club mentality. I don't think Dani Olmo saying that they've made better signings than us, I don't think that's talking shit, to be honest. Like, what's he supposed to say? I mean, he could have did what Jude did, right? When Jude got asked about Nico Williams rejecting Barca, he could have laughed at Barcelona and maybe tried to troll them. But he said, I don't care. It's not Madrid, so I don't care. But, I mean, Dani Olmo was asked the question. He's not going to say, yeah, Real Madrid are having a better transfer window than us. Yeah, Real Madrid look better than us. He's never going to say that. No Barcelona player will ever say that. So the answer that he gave isn't really surprising, but I don't view that as talking shit. He's just backing his teammates. Yeah, now look, man, W chat. Also, real quick, guys, if you're not following me on Twitter, the link is pinned right there at the top. Also, throughout the stream, in the live chat, the bot is going to be dropping the link for the second channel. It's also going to be dropping the link for the Discord, and it's also going to be dropping the link to become a member if you want to get access to the Madrid emoji that I'm dropping in the chat. Got to be a member of the channel, right, people? So, you know, look out for those links. If you're not subscribed to the second channel, if you're not in the Discord, or if you're not a member and if you want to be one, then just keep an eye on the chat. But like I said, I don't have a lot of time, so we're not going to waste too much of it by just waffling, right? I mean, look, let's get into the first story that I really want to talk about. Now, we know that Real Madrid were in the Club World Cup, and even though it didn't end good for us because we got absolutely battered by PSG in the semis, it still was a good test underneath Xabi Alonso, right? The guy came into the job and was immediately thrown into the deep end. He got put into a major tournament right away. Xabi Alonso did not have a preseason. He didn't even have weeks to embed his tactics. My man had his first training session with the full team like on Thursday. We had a game like that next Tuesday or Wednesday. So everything moved really quickly. And I was happy that Real Madrid were in the Club World Cup because I wanted us to win this tournament, right? It's a new format. It's going to be every 4 years, and you get to have that badge on your kit, and you get to be called the champions of the world. Now, what's crazy is that we know that one of the things that people talked about when it came to the Club World Cup and it being played directly after the season was players were not going to have proper rest before next season kicked off. And I didn't really view that as a concern because to me, I don't care, right? The players should want to be in these competitions. These players should want to go out there and win trophies. Now, apparently, Real Madrid have asked La Liga if our first match can be postponed, and La Liga have rejected it. And now the club are pissed off. And I kind of have an issue with that because to me, if you want to be involved in these major tournaments, which Real Madrid wanted because of the money, right? The money that was involved with this Club World Cup was ridiculous. We made a lot of money just making the semifinals. But if you want to be in these tournaments, then you can't complain if you don't get as much rest as teams that were not a part of it. So now, if you were to get our first game against Osasuna postponed, let's say La Liga said, okay, we'll move this game. What do you think happens to the games after that? It's a ripple effect. Because now, if our first game is postponed, that means you have to postpone our second game. You have to push back the third game, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. And then now, every team that you're playing, their games need to be pushed back, and then their schedules need to be adjusted. Now, would I like for us to have gotten some more rest before the season started? Of course. But at the same time, this is the risk that you take when you're involved in these summer tournaments. We cannot expect everything to just get moved around for us because us and Atletico were in this summer tournament. And to be honest, Atleti got knocked out in the group stage. That bum-ass club didn't even make the fucking knockouts. They didn't even make they got grouped. So they had more time to rest than us. But at the end of the day, this is the risk you take. We got our money. We participated in the tournament. Now get ready for Osasuna. I don't think they're going to push back this game. Because now you have to readjust our entire schedule. Which means you have to readjust everybody's schedule. What makes sense to me is that when there's these summer tournaments that are going on, right? Like the Euros, World Cup, now the Club World Cup every 4 years, Copa America, right? Just to name the major ones. It should be a rule that the leagues start a little bit later. That's how you avoid a situation like this. But look, it goes on to say, Real Madrid's request to postpone the Osasuna match has been rejected. The match will be played on August 19th. Real Madrid players will only get 26 days of summer rest. Goes on to say that Real Madrid are angry and will appeal the decision to postpone their first La Liga match against Osasuna. Now, for anybody that always talks about La Liga favors Real Madrid, La Liga is, everybody that's at the top level, they want to see Real Madrid win. This is how you know that these people are retards. Any Barca fan that says, this is the Tebas League and he's a Real Madrid fan, so Real Madrid always get favorable decisions, you're retarded. Respectfully, you're a dumbass. You were licking windows on the school bus and you had 5 teachers with only 10 students. That's what you are. You're an idiot. I don't understand. Where does all this Real Madrid propaganda come from? We don't get special treatment. If we did, then the league would not have rejected our request to postpone the game because then we could have gotten more rest. Now, what's so funny about that is that Osasuna's goalkeeper, Sergio Herrera, he even came out and said that Osasuna wanted to help Real Madrid and postpone our match. For us, it was the logical thing to do. Anyone with a brain would understand that there's not enough time for Real Madrid to be 100% ready. This is an opposition player that is saying this. Again, I would have liked for us to get more rest. But at the end of the day, I view it as you want to be involved in these major tournaments, this is the risk that it comes with. The Club World Cup, new format. Before, it used to get played in December, and it was only like 6 teams that were involved. Now they've moved it to the summer. It's going to be every 4 years. And if you're involved in it, which if you're an elite big club, you should be in this tournament, this is what might happen. You might not get enough time for rest. So what's going to happen now? Is the club not going to play this game against Osasuna? You have to. We can't afford to not play it. You forfeit. That's an automatic 3 points that we lose. To me, it's not that big of a deal. I think the club just needs to get on with it. Again, these things should have been agreed upon before the tournament even started. It should have been a rule that just that every league has to push back their start date by 2 weeks because of the tournaments that are going on in the summer. That's how it should be for every summer tournament. And I always find it funny that people complained about the Club World Cup being in the summer, but how come nobody complains when it's Copa America? How come nobody complains when it's the Euros? How come nobody was complaining when it's the World Cup? Why is that? The thing is, people complained about it because their teams were not involved. If your club could not get into the tournament, then I understand why you're complaining, because you're jealous. But I don't think that the league should be pushing back our game, to be honest. It would be nice if they did, but them saying no, it's not a big deal to me. But what are you guys saying about this? Tebas Clown will do exactly what Madrid ask. Okay. If that's what you think. You could live in denial, but I mean, the proof is right there. What's also crazy is that Tebas always criticizes Real Madrid. Every chance he gets, he talks shit about us. Do you guys know that Real Madrid were one of 2 clubs that voted for him to not get a pay rise and that want him out? Real Madrid and Athletic Bilbao are the only 2 teams. So if Tebas just helps us, and if he does everything that Real Madrid want, then why is it that we want him out as president? Explain. I'm waiting. Varsatards, please explain. Exactly, Rabona, I expect us to win regardless. I expect us to beat Osasuna. Yo, what's good, Sensei? Big up. Muhammad, stop being an idiot, brother. You know that if you spam, you get timed out. Come on now. If you do it again, that's a 24-hour timeout. Just because you already know that. You already know that. So now, if you do it again, you got to hold smoke, bruv. I'm tired of this Madrid versus La Liga beef. Tebas needs to be sacked off. I don't think La Liga's doing anything wrong, bro. That's the thing. It's not La Liga's fault. Again, if you postpone our match against Osasuna, now you have to postpone everything. Because what? You think if they just move back the Osasuna game, then that's going to affect how much rest we have before the second game, and then the third game, and then the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and then all those teams, you're basically postponing their games as well, which then affects their schedule, because then you're going to have to move stuff around for their schedule. It should have already been agreed before the tournament that the league would start 2 weeks then later. That's just what it is. It's simple. If you don't care, then get timed out for 24 hours. Just spam. Go ahead. It doesn't really matter to me, brother. I expect us to win every La Liga game to the El Clasico with the squad we have and a manager as good as Xabi Alonso, including yeah, I do expect us to be damn near perfect heading into that El Clasico. I think the Madrid derby, though, could be tricky. They always give us issues, bro. Every single time that we play them, Atletico always just give their best. I don't know what it is, bro. Let me see. Yo, big up Edmilson says, hey, Carnage, I love your channel. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. W. Edmilson. Tebas don't support the Club World Cup. He can't make money from the Club World Cup as he's going to reject. Yeah, but that's irrelevant because the leagues don't make money from the World Cup. They don't make money from the Euros. They don't make money from the Copa America. So why is it that people just want to complain about the Club World Cup? Because then if that's how you feel, then you should be complaining about every summer tournament, not just pick and choose which one, you know? It's our fault for being crybabies. I mean, look, I don't think that Real Madrid are wrong for trying to get the game postponed, right? It's nothing wrong with asking. But then when you get told no, there's nothing that you should be mad about. Again, this is the risk that you take. But yeah, now let me know what you guys are saying. I just want to talk about that real quick. I mean, we'll see because we do have 2 days to appeal the decision. So maybe it does end up getting postponed. And then if it, you know, whatever updates come out with that, then we'll talk about it. But for me, nah, nothing should really be happening like that. Just being honest with you. We should be playing that game when it's originally scheduled to. But now, look, let me know what you guys are saying about that, chat. Also, all right, let's get into the more important topics. Not that that's not important, but I don't really care, to be honest. I hope that the game stays because I always set my schedule like a month before. So if they move the game, then I might have to move some other stuff around, which would really piss me off as well. So I hope that they don't move it. But now look, let's talk about Vinicius and this contract situation. So we have got some updates over the last few days about what's going on with Vinny and Real Madrid with this contract situation. Now, you guys know I'm not happy that a deal has not been signed yet. Vinicius, at the time of me recording this video, only has 2 years left. We are not in the business of letting our players run their contracts down. See, we'll take your players for free, but our best players, they should not be leaving for free. Now, there is a lot of pressure on the club and on the player to find some kind of resolution. Either you get the deal done or you cash in on Vinicius. Now, you guys know, he's not a player that I want to see leave this club. Vinicius, for me, is the best left winger in the world. I don't care that he's been on poor form since January. That does not make me have short-term memory. If you sell Vinicius, luckily for us, we do have Mbappe that could play on the left. But aside from those two, there's no other player. Actually, shit, we have Rodrygo as well. So I have 3 players at my club that can do an amazing job on the left. To me, there is no other left winger in the world that's not at my club that I would take over Vinicius. Let's not forget, everybody that wants Vinicius sold because all of a sudden they think he's shit, you guys were the same ones that in the 23-24 season were sucking him off. We're celebrating when he was cooking Bayern. We're celebrating when he scored in another Champions League final. You guys were the same people that were on your knees begging for him to win that Ballon d'Or. And now he has a shit second half of the season. Because everybody acts like his 24-25 season was shit in general. Vinicius was our best player to start off the first half of last season. Everybody forgets what happened between August and January. Everybody has short memory. Nobody ever talks about how he was our best player in the first half of the season. Where was Mbappe in that first half? Mbappe was fucking ass. Mbappe was looking like a flop as a free signing. Let's not forget this, but I get it. People have short-term memory. People don't understand that not everybody is Ronaldo, right? What we saw when we had Ronaldo is a fucking anomaly. That is an anomaly. For a player to be that consistent for that long, Messi and Ronaldo's, we probably won't be alive to see the next one. Maybe you could say, oh, look at Lamine Yamal. He's going to go through struggle periods as well. It's an anomaly. But we've been spoiled. So people think that Vinicius, he wears number 7. He should be performing like Ronaldo. It's not reality, people. Now, like I said, we got some updates concerning what's going on with his contract situation. And I have some bad news for all of the Vinicius haters, because it's been made clear that Vinicius wants to stay at Real Madrid. He's happy, feels important, and it's clear that Real Madrid is the best place to make history and compete for all titles. Let's get one thing understood. Vinicius is on his way to being the best Brazilian to ever play for our club. My man is 24 years old, and he's damn near touching legendary status at this club. Vinicius has proven to us that he is capable of being the main man in attack, and we can still win Champions Leagues. We can still win La Ligas. So now people want to turn on him because of poor form, because they think he's shit all of a sudden. And then these will be the same people that when he picks up form, they'll be sucking him off again. Now, I'm not mad at anybody that criticizes Vinicius. I think the second half of the season, unacceptable. Not good enough. And I do agree that he should be criticized. The issue that I have is people that want him sold. This is where I disagree. Now, we all know what his contract demands are. He wants to get paid as much as Mbappe. And I just don't think he should be asking for that kind of money right now. Vinicius is on about 22 million a season. If we think about it, right? And you know what? I'll actually pull up the wage bill really quickly. Does Vinicius deserve a contract extension? Yes. Does Vinicius deserve a pay rise? Yes. And for anybody that thinks Mbappe signing has ruined our wage structure, again, you're an idiot, right? The circumstances are very different. Mbappe joined us as a free agent. When you join us on a free transfer, that doesn't mean that the club doesn't spend money. What that means is that the club does not have to pay another team to get you. So now when you leave and when you join as a free agent, you get a big signing on bonus, you get higher wages, okay? That's how it works. Mbappe, arguably the biggest footballer in the world right now. One of the most known players. My grandma, who does not watch this sport, knows who Mbappe is. Him leaving PSG on a free transfer, no matter where he went, he was always going to be the highest paid player at any club that he joined. Let's get this understood, people. Now, I don't think Vinicius is worth 30 million a week. Not right now. Not off the second half of the season that he's had, right? The time for Vinicius to have requested that kind of contract would have been after 23-24, when we won the UCL and when he was playing at a Ballon d'Or level. But let me show you guys what the wages are like at Real Madrid. So Vinicius is our third highest paid player, right? David Alaba is our second because, again, he joined on a free. This is the downside of being free agent FC, because you have guys like David Alaba, and David Alaba is one of the best defenders in the world at Bayern. But when he joined us, he was 29 years old. He was on a free transfer. We gave him a ridiculous offer with wages and contract length. But Vinicius, should he be getting paid less than David Alaba? No. Actually, shit. Vinny is not on 22.5 million. I thought he was. Vinny is on 20 million a year. Or let's round it up. He's on 21 million a year. Vinicius deserves to be on, in my opinion, $25 million a year. That's what I think. Sorry, and not a week. I mean, a year. You guys know what I'm trying to say, right? I might have misspoke there. Obviously, nobody's on $30 million a week. Shit, Saudi isn't even paying people that much money. That would be crazy. For $30 million a week, I would do some diabolical things for that kind of money. I'm not gonna lie. The government might put me in Guantanamo Bay for the kind of things that I would do for $30 million a week. Shit. Anyways. Yeah, I think Vinicius, $25 million a year, to me, is fair. Have him a little bit off of Mbappe. And the thing is, nobody ever uses real life logic when it comes to talking about footballers. Just because Vinicius wants a certain amount of money and the club aren't willing to pay him that, it doesn't mean that he's going to leave. All that means is that they have to negotiate. It's called negotiations. Unless you're a kid and you've never had a real job, then I understand why you wouldn't understand what that means. But if you're an adult, and if you're saying certain things like, oh, it's not going to happen because he wants this much money and the club don't want to pay him, you're an idiot. You have to negotiate. I've negotiated money at my job. When I first got an offer, I didn't like how much money was on the table. I asked for more money. I told them what I wanted. Then they gave me a counter offer. I gave them a counter offer. We agreed because we met somewhere that I was happy with and somewhere that my employer was happy with. This is how it works. It's very rare that you just get whatever you ask for. That's not how real life works. The club are going to do what's in the best interest for them, and the player is going to try and do what's in the best interest for him. This is called negotiations. And if you ever make an offer to somebody, and if they accept the first offer that you make, it means that you undervalued whatever the fuck it is you're asking for. Let's get that very clear. Like if you were selling your car, and if somebody asked you, how much money for your car? Let's say you say $20,000 and they say, okay, right away, you just lost value. Because nobody ever just agrees in negotiations the first time. So, look, we'll see. And this is one to keep an eye on. Look, like I said, I do believe that Vinicius will end up staying at Real Madrid. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I don't think that Vinicius wants to leave right now when there's still so much that he has to do. Now, we've also got some other reports that said Vini's contract renewal is not at risk. Real Madrid know there is no Vini Jr. replacement on the market, which is facts. And if there was, he would be very expensive. Vini Jr. also wants to stay and knows Madrid is the best place for him. Whenever you leave Real Madrid, it's an automatic downgrade. Automatic downgrade. It doesn't matter where you go. Even if you join those bums at Barcelona, downgrade. I don't think Vinicius wants to leave yet. I don't think he will. I expect a contract renewal very soon. Now, I will tell you this. If we get to next summer, and if Vinicius still has not signed a new deal, I want him sold. Any player that has 12 months left, unless you sign a new deal immediately, you have to leave. That's just how it is. Saudi will still be able to offer us, and they will be willing to offer us, a lot of fucking money for Vinicius. Even with 12 months left, we can get $250 million for Vinicius to go to Saudi. So, we'll keep an eye on it, but I do expect him to stay at Real Madrid. Like I said, for anybody that wants Vinicius sold, for Mbappe to stay, you're crazy. If I had to sell one of them, get rid of Mbappe. Not that I want Mbappe to leave, because I'm very happy that both of these players are at my club. I think Xabi Alonso will be able to make them work together. But at the same time, life before Mbappe was good. We were winning Champions Leagues, La Ligas, Copa del Rey, Spanish Super Cup, everything. Vinicius has proven to us that as the main man in attack, we can thrive. So why would I sell Vinicius for a player that has proven in his career he cannot get the job done as the main man. Mbappe was at PSG. They gave him everything. He was running that club. My man was signing off on transfers. He was bringing in his friends. And with all that money that they spent, with them tailoring the team to Mbappe, PSG could not win with him being the main man. The very next season, after he leaves them, they go on and win the fucking treble. They win their first UCL. And this is the guy that fans want to pick over Vinicius. A guy that, again, I like Mbappe. I'm happy he's at the club. But to pick him, who has not done anything for us, over Vinicius, to me is fucking crazy. I don't understand it. For as brilliant as Mbappe is, he's shown us time and time again throughout his career as the main man, he cannot get it done. Do you think that Perez is going to build the team around Mbappe like how PSG did? Do you think Mbappe is going to have a say in transfers at Real Madrid? Do you think Mbappe is going to be able to bring his friends into the fucking club? So, like, what are we doing here, bro? Again, I believe Xabi Alonso is going to make it work. These two will cook together, and they will be very successful at Real Madrid together. But the slander that I'm seeing for Vinicius, it really grinds my fucking gears. That shit literally pisses me the fuck off, bro. How do we forget what he's done for us because of 7 months of poor form? 7 months. And all of a sudden, Vinicius is shit. This is a player, and I'm going to be real, Vinicius is the player that taught me patience. Vinicius taught me patience. And yo, big up to my guy Matrix. I see you in here. And I know that you're an Mbappe guy. But let's be very fucking clear here, bro. And no, I'm not cursing at you. I'm just hyped up right now. Mbappe played with us for about 4 or 5 years. Mbappe chose money. How many seasons over coming to Real Madrid? While Mbappe was in PSG getting his feet rubbed by the president, while he was cashing in, getting paid hundreds of millions, Vinicius was here. Vinicius joins us at 18 years old from Flamengo. The guy comes in mid. He looked like a player that had potential, very quick, very technical in terms of skills and all these different things. But in the final third, Vinicius was shit. This was a guy, I'm going to be honest, early days, I wanted Vinny sold. Like I said, Vinicius is the player that taught me patience. Then he has that breakout season. 21-22. Are you mad? And now he's developed himself into being one of the best players in the world. And fans want to sell him for a guy that has done nothing for us and for a guy that has shown that he cannot win as the main man. I don't give a fuck about the Ligue 1 trophies. I don't care about you winning the Copa de France. Ligue 1 is shit. We don't give a fuck about what PSG do if they're not winning the UCL. You get me? So, look, it is what it is. Obviously, the club wants Vinicius to stay. I think he will stay. This is my guy. I don't care what anybody says. I will defend Vinicius. Now, if next season he's shit for the entire season, I hear it. Sell him. Sell him. But a bad second half of a season is not enough for me to say he needs to leave. Let's see what he does this season. I back Vinny to get back to his best. Again, People forget this guy was our best player in the first half of last season. Vinicius was carrying us. When Mbappe was dropping stinker after stinker after stinker after, but he was getting a little tap in. Or, Vinicius gave him a penalty. Who was carrying us? Who was the one that was creating all those chances that Mbappe missed? Vinicius. Again, nobody ever talks about the first half of the season. Everybody just acts like that didn't happen. So Vinicius was our best player in the first half, was shit in the second half. But yeah, let's just focus only on the second half of the season. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But let's see how this next season plays out. What are you guys saying though, man? Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, because I know a lot of people are probably sitting there like, oh, no, Vinny is shit. You're entitled to your opinion. But I just think it's crazy how quickly people turn. Not everybody's Ronaldo. Not everybody's going to be able to play at that level for 98% of every single season. It's fucking impossible, bro. Sensei says, I'm giving Vinny 10 games under Xabi before I actually give up on him because I don't think his game fits the Xabi. I mean, to be honest, and big up Sensei, I think if Xabi Alonso is the manager that I believe him to be, he makes this work. If Xabi Alonso is the guy that I think is going to do great things at this club, he makes it work. It's not an issue of ability with Mbappe and Vinicius. It's mentality. Is this the manager that's going to be able to get them to work off the ball? That's the only issue that they have together. They both are lazy off the ball. If Xabi Alonso can get them to press, to run, and mind you, Vinicius pressed the third most out of any Real Madrid player in that Club World Cup. If he can keep that up, if Xabi Alonso can get that out of them, the off-the-ball work rate, they're going to be just fine. That's all that it is. It's just they need to work on the ball, no problems. They will ballers will figure it out. Let's see. Xabi is a possession-style manager. Mbappe and Vinny cannot keep possession to save their lives. No, that's not true. That's not true. The reason that you're saying that is because Mbappe and Vinicius take risk. They just take risk. But again, a proper manager gets a system that works. As a PSG fan, Vinicius Jr. is a great player, but since he lost the Ballon d'Or to Rodrygo, he was... Yeah, I mean, maybe it's his mentality as well. Maybe that really hit his confidence when he... Because we all thought, everybody in the world thought Vinny was winning that. He definitely thought he was winning that. Why do you think Florentino Perez made the decision to not go? Because the club felt like Vinicius was cheated. Everybody acts like Perez would just choose Mbappe. Or, bro, Perez loves Vinny. This is a player that he bought for $45 million. Remember, we signed Vinicius when he was... Before he even made his debut for Flamengo, we signed him. Perez took a gamble on him, and he's developed into one of the best players in the world. What, you think that, Perez is going to just get rid of a player that he saw as a project that developed into one of the best here? Come on, man, stop it. It's more than off the ball for me. They both lack technique. But why do you think that they lack technique? And, what do you mean by technique? That's the thing. What do you mean by that? Shit, we only got 30 minutes left. Fucking hell. We are going to be doing game breakers. Actually, no, I have about 45 minutes. Yeah, we will be doing game breakers next, people. So this is going to redirect you straight over to there. Me and my guy, Edwin. I'm going to have to cook him. I don't know for what, but he's going to get cooked. Vinny out for a bag of chips. Get Vinny out. Okay. Sherman. Were you there cheering for Vinicius in 23-24? Did you want Vinny out that season? Did you want Vinicius out before Mbappe joined? Tell me. Tell me. I'm just curious, bro. Arsenal lost to Spurs. What makes you think that we care, Bus?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
This shit is called Madrid hype. You talking to me about a Premier League friendly. We don't care. I do not care. All right, a couple more, then we'll move on. Yes, Matrix. Football chaos later. Bro, I can already tell. Yo, the way that we've been arguing in the group chat, today should be something special. It's going to be a generational chaos today. Yeah, bro, I saw that we have a game on August 12th. Don't worry, my G. We will be here, watch along, of course. Hopefully the game's going to be televised where I could watch it. And, like, not like a not like a closed off one. But then they would have announced it if it was supposed to be a behind the door. Like, they told us because they're going to be broadcast. It'll probably be on, like... Yo, I'm not going to lie. This is where I'm going to give Barcelona some credit. Barca's preseason games have been broadcasted live for free on their YouTube channel. That is excellent. Now, they do have their chat open, but only for members. So if you want to talk in Barcelona's chat, you have to become a member of their channel. I think that shit is a phenomenal idea. Real Madrid should be doing the same thing. Whoever the fuck we're playing against on the 12th, I have no idea who that team is. Do it on YouTube for free. Have your chat open. Make it members only. If you want to talk in the chat, you got to be a member. If I was Madrid, I would take I think what Barcelona have done makes a lot of sense. Makes it easier for us to watch the game. Now I don't have to look for it on some bootleg website. Nah, yo, big up Matrix, man. Yo, make sure you guys subscribe to Football Matrix. I'm telling you, when it comes to Real Madrid creators, he is next. I'm telling you, bro. This guy is hilarious. But now, look, let's move on, people. Let's move on, because I still do have other things to get into. Again, big up to everybody that's watching. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, right? If you're not following me on Twitter, make sure that you do that, right? If you guys are not in the Discord or subscribed to Carnage Extra, make sure you guys do that. By the way, how are we only on 61 likes? What is this? It's been over 100 people in here. I've been live for over 45 minutes. And you frauds only got us on 61 likes. Are you not entertained? I'm confused. Let me know. If you're not entertained, I'll end this motherfucker right now. What is this? What is this haram? If y'all want me to end, let me know. If I'm not giving the entertainment, I'll dip. Yo, run these likes up, bro. What is this, man? I'm looking at this chat right now. I'm looking at the numbers. And some of you guys are in here moving like Gavi. Y'all are moving like Marcus Rashford. You're moving like scrubs. What is this, bro? You have to move like ballers, bro. You have to move like Arda Güler. You have to move like Dean Howson, right? Like these are the guys that you need to be looking at, right? Not those Barca scrubs. I'm not gonna lie, man. Fix up, bro. Fix up. We need at least 100 likes. At least 100. Yeah, look, I'm going to talk about this next topic. And if we don't have 100 likes after I get into this Franco topic, I might just end the stream, bro. I might just end the stream, bro. 100 likes by the end of this. Yo, I'm going to give y'all like 10, 12 minutes, bro, to fix up. What is this? Y'all got me stopping the show to talk about the likes. This is a disgrace. Y'all should already know what time it is on football. Yo, you enter my live stream before you get in the chat. smash that like. It's free. Pay your rent. Come on, G. But now look, let's talk about Franco, because his arrival at Real Madrid is very imminent. And you guys know, I've said it before. Out of the 4 signings that we've made so far, Franco is the one that excites me the most. Not because I think he's the best player that we've signed, but because I'm not that familiar with him. So I look forward to watching him play consistently because I like his profile and I do like what I've seen so far. Obviously, Franco was at the Club World Cup with River Plate and he looked decent, right? He didn't look amazing. He didn't go out there and look world class. He looked like a solid player, and I see the fundamentals that we can work with. And I think he's going to be a very good player for us. And I'm excited to see how Xabi Alonso uses him, right? This is no longer Carlo Ancelotti at the club, because we know if Carlo was our manager, oh yeah, Franco would have been holding bench for the next 2 years. We wouldn't have seen Franco until like May. But Xabi Alonso is here now. Xabi Alonso uses the youth. He is going to cook with this Franco player. Now, there's some contradictory reports, right? But they kind of have the same message. Everybody is building up Franco as if he's going to join Real Madrid and just be a starter right away. So we're going to look at some reports. And we know that with Jude Bellingham being out, there's going to be more minutes available for these players in that attacking midfield position. So we're going to also build the starting 11 that I think Xabi Alonso wants to use if these reports are true. But I want to know what you guys are saying about Franco, right? And how excited are you with him joining the club? What do you think he'll do this season? Now, like I said, right, my expectations for this player are not very high because I have not watched this guy for a very long time, right? Like, I've watched River Plate a couple of times during the Club World Cup, and like I said, he looked decent. But because I'm unfamiliar with him, that makes me excited, right? When I look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, I know what I'm getting with him. Dean Howson, he also, actually, I'm very excited about him. But I know more about him because I watched Bournemouth against some of the big teams in the Prem last season, right? Alvaro Correas, I'm not really that excited about. I'm going to be honest with you, right? Like, that's just not a guy that I think the club should have signed. But I'm hoping that he proves me wrong. But Franco, he's the one that I knew little about. Now, according to reports, the club fucking love this guy. They're saying that Xabi Alonso and his staff want to heavily bet on Franco Mastantuono. And I hope I'm saying his name right. I should just be saying Franco, to be honest. The player is being talked about as a starter. The player is, so the plan is to let him adapt to the team by playing him immediately. Now, I don't believe this. Just so we're very clear, there's no way in hell that Franco, at 18 years old, from Argentina, walks into Real Madrid's 11. I do not believe that. And if that does happen, Rodrygo, you must hand in your transfer request immediately. If Xabi Alonso is finding a way to start Franco right away, Rodrygo, you need to leave. Because that would be a violation. I'm going to be honest, bruv. Now, I do think he's going to slowly get minutes. But for him to just walk into our 11, even with Jude Bellingham being out, surely that cannot be true, right? Now, like I said, we had 2 different reports, but they said the same thing, basically. So now, this is the one that I more so believe. It says, Xabi Alonso is planning the team until Jude Bellingham recovers. And in that plan, Franco Mastantuono is important. In the first matches, he won't be a starter, but he'll have a lot of minutes. He'll gradually be more important until he becomes a starter. Now, this I can see. This makes more sense. In our first games, he should be coming off the bench in the second half in like the 70th, 80th minute. We see how he plays. If he's impressing us, you gradually increase his minutes. And if he keeps on progressing, then yeah, you start him in a game. But there's no way he just walks into this 11. Now, I'm trying to think. Because with Jude being out, how are we going to set up? It seems like everybody's talking about Franco, but in my opinion, if Jude's not going to be here, I'm more so thinking about Camavinga. Like, Camavinga is a player that I think can take advantage of Jude Bellingham being out. So now I think that Xabi Alonso is going to have to adjust his tactics. Because not having Jude for the first 2 to 3 months of the season is going to be a massive blow. And when I look at a player like Franco, his profile is very similar to like what Arda's was before we moved him into that midfield. He's a right winger / number 10. That's what Arda was. Now, Arda is used as more of an 8, right? Arda is more of a center mid, right? Arda is the Luka Modric replacement, essentially, right? That's the role, and that's the areas that he's going to be occupying. So now, that does leave an opening in the attack, in theory, even though Jude does play as more of an 8 underneath Xabi Alonso. So I want to build what an 11 could look like with Franco at the club. Now, I think underneath Xabi Alonso, our best 11, or the best formation, I should say, was the 3-5-2. But I don't think with Jude being out, if you want to use Franco, I don't think that would be the best formation, right? But, no, matter of fact, let's just build this real quick. Let's build this. Where is it at? 3-5-2. So, this is what we looked really good under with Xabi Alonso during the Club World Cup, right? Let's plug this in. So, obviously, right, Courtois, best goalkeeper in the world. Follow me, chat. Let's do player in club. Then, see, we need a fucking center back, bro. We need a fucking center back. Oh, my days. I'm praying that we get another center back because, yeah. It's either got to be Rodrygo, Asensio, or Militao at right center back. I'm leaning towards Asensio. I know Asensio was shit in the Club World Cup, but last season he was our best. Asensio was very good last season. I don't think he's a shit player all of a sudden. Rodrygo, the guy got injured, got surgery, came back early. He looks washed. And Militao can't stay fit to save his life. Like, Militao has torn both his ACLs in 2 years. Do you know how mad that is? We need a defender bad. But, I mean, Rodrygo and Asensio were shit against PSG. Militao got a little cameo. He looked better than them. But can I trust Militao to not rupture another ligament? Not gonna lie. Yo, Perez, you must go get Saliba or Konate. You fucking must. Because this is a madness right here, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. All right. Me personally, as of right now, I'd go Asensio. We could debate in the comment section if you guys agree or not. This is what I'm thinking so far. Now, obviously, Tchouaméni, because he was one of our best players during the Club World Cup. Like, this hybrid role that he plays, phenomenal, right? Because, and I'll explain the tactics, actually, when I plug in everybody. Left, Dean Housen is the first name on the team sheet when it comes to the defense. Phenomenal player. Now, in the midfield, right? Left wing back, Fran Garcia played well, but he's not going to start over Alvaro Carreras, right? Like, we didn't drop 50 million on Carreras for him to not be starting for us. Like, Carreras is the second most expensive defender in Real Madrid. Do you know, bro, literally this summer, we broke our, Dean Housen is the most expensive center back or defender in club history, 58 million. Alvaro Carreras is second at 50 million. That's fucking crazy. Anyways, yeah, I think he'll be at left wing back. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Because, so you had Arda that played here, and he cooked. Then you had Jude. Actually, wait. I'm not building what we did, because in Alvaro Carreras. Okay, matter of fact, so this is the formation, and these are the players that we cooked in. Let me actually build what it looked like in the Club World Cup. So, Fran Garcia, right? Jude. Valverde. Trent. And then up top, we had Vinny with Gonzalo Garcia. I don't think Gonzalo Garcia is in the database here. Nah, he's not here. So just use your imagination, right? Gonzalo Garcia is right here. Just fucking pretend, okay? This is when we looked our absolute best in the Club World Cup, right? Now, with Jude no longer being here, I personally think, now, Camavinga is not going to start right away because he's been injured. He hasn't had a chance to prove himself either. But for me, the biggest winner of Jude being out, in theory, it should be Camavinga because this is the position that he plays. Camavinga underneath Xabi Alonso should cook. He's an absolute baller. But again, he's not got a chance to prove himself. He was injured over the summer, and I don't even know when he's coming back, to be honest. So, in theory, right, when the season starts, Camavinga can't just walk into the 11 either because he's going to be rusty. But how the tactics worked, kind of, was, so off the ball, it's a back three. Then on the ball, Tchouaméni always, no, sorry. What am I talking about? Okay, so Tchouaméni off the ball steps up. He's the one that leads the press. On the ball, he drops back. That's why we always say that it looks like Tchouaméni is playing like a hybrid role at Real Madrid. Whereas last season, Carlo just had him in the back line because of the injuries, which was wrong. Now, let's just go off of the reports. Now, if you wanted to start Franco at the club early, he's more of a 10/right winger than just a central midfielder. So then it would have to be the 3-4-2-1. This is what it would have to be if you do want Franco to be starting with Jude being out. So obviously, right? Why the fuck is Arda? Hold on. So, 1 second. Here we go. But then, yeah. Like, this is... see? Yeah, nah. Let's take out Camavinga. Let's switch. I think it's similar like this. And then, this is how you get Franco into the 11. If he pops up, surely Franco is here, right? Here we go. And then this is the only way. Oh wait, and shit. Hold on. Now that we're talking about with Franco being here, yeah, Alvaro Correa's got to be in the 11. This is how I see Franco starting. If it's not this, then where do you play him? Because underneath Xabi Alonso, we don't use wingers, technically. Like, our width comes from the wingbacks. Trent going forward, Correa is going to have to go forward as well. So, like, and we've seen him at Leverkusen run a 3-5-2-1. We've seen it. But the thing is, I don't really like Arda, like, playing deep like this. That's the thing. Like, I know in the Club World Cup, Arda's looked good in the 8. But I would prefer, to be honest, if I'm Xabi Alonso, right, this is what I would do. I'd prefer, while Jude is out, by the way, mind you, this is no Jude, right? Jude is injured. I'd prefer Camavinga, right? And then, for me, Franco should be coming off the bench. And then I would play Arda. Is she going to pop up? Yes. This, to me, looked really good. Just saying, right? Like, this is what I would run with Jude being out. Or, if you want, you can do, like, a 3-4-3. Fucking hell, why is this, like, moving with it? This is, like, bruv. Okay. Yeah, so you can always do a 3-4-3 as well. I think my mouse is fucked up when I'm trying to drag these players, bro. It could be something like this, but I think the 3-4-2-1 works the best. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out how they plan on starting Franco immediately, if it's true. Again, if that does happen, Rodrygo needs to leave. If Franco comes in and snatches your chain, you, brother, like that, come on now. But yeah, I'm just messing around here, seeing what it could possibly look like. Again, nobody knows what Xabi Alonso is going to do, but the Club World Cup did show us an idea of what he's thinking. The 3-5-2 is what we look the best under, but I don't think that just means he's going to use that for the entire time. Maybe I'm wrong, though. We'll see. What are you guys saying, man? Stinker and Hooked, replace Mbappe or Vinny. I don't think Xabi's going to do that right away. They're going to both be starting early on in the season. So, yeah, there's no point in me saying, oh, yeah, drop Vinny or drop Mbappe. It's not going to happen. Will moving like Gavi, Stinker and Hooked. Rodrygo could compete with Vinny for the left wing. Okay, well, then why did Xabi not use him? I agree, by the way. I agree. I think that Rodrygo can definitely compete with Vinicius on the left wing, of course, duh. But does Xabi want to use him? That's the real question. He didn't use him like that in the Club World Cup, so I can only go off of what the manager has shown us so far. What happens when Jude comes back? Immediately into the starting 11. Well, no. When Jude is fit, I would bring him off the bench like 2 games, let him get his fitness up, and then back in the 11. Jude is one of the best midfielders in the world. He does not hold bench. No. Let's see. Is Camavinga already back? Apparently, Brahim is... No. Oh, my gosh. I don't like when Brahim starts. I prefer Brahim Diaz off the bench. That's where I think he cooks. Off the bench, Brahim Diaz, solid. Starting, nah. I view the guy as more of a super sub. Camavinga is better than Gavi, by the way. I know that you're a Barca fan, so hold that. How many likes are we on? Nah, hold on, bro. Y'all think I'm pussy. Y'all must think I'm pussy. Are we on 97 likes? Did I not say 100 likes? Come on, people. What is this? You know, I'm not going to say anything until we get 100 likes. It's only 3 more that's needed, so it shouldn't take too long. I'll just sit here. We'll just watch each other. That's what we'll do. All right, see, W chat. See, I knew you guys weren't going to just mess around like that. W chat. All right, let's keep it going. Again, don't forget, people. Game breakers after this. No, I was not refreshing. I was pulling up the next tweet that I wanted to show. I just wanted to make sure that everything was, because I'm actually about to move around the order with the news that came out today. Because we were going to talk about Rodrygo next. But I actually want to talk about Endrick and Gonzalo Garcia, because it's a weird situation that we have going on at the club with the backup 9s. I'm going to be real. It looks like Gonzalo Garcia to me. Actually, I want to know what you guys are saying. Endrick or Gonzalo Garcia? Endrick or Gonzalo Garcia? If you had to pick one, if one had to leave, if one had to stay, who would you rather be there? Let's go for Isaac. Not happening, brother. Not happening. Gonzalo, both. Matter of fact, I'm going to start a poll, actually. Hold on. Endrick. Vote, people. I'm trying to see something real quick. If you can only keep one, because I don't know. Yeah, damn, bro. Endrick is getting cooked in this vote. Fucking hell. Damn. I'm going to give you guys 30 more seconds to vote on this. And then, yeah, then I'll actually get into it. Because I'm still trying to form my opinions. Alvaro is better than both. Alvaro? Rodriguez? The striker that we just sold? I don't know about that, boss man. I don't know about that one. All right, 5, 4, okay, 2, 1. All right, let's close the poll. Yeah, fucking Gonzalo Garcia won. Shit, 70. Damn. 72% of you guys want Gonzalo Garcia over Endrick. Or that's what you prefer. Okay. Well, it's a very interesting situation at the club right now concerning the backup strikers. Because we know Mbappe is going to start in that position, right? Like, we didn't bring Mbappe in to bench him. It's not going to happen. Xabi Alonso is going to have to find a way to make it work between him and Vinicius. And especially with him taking the number 10, now the number 9 is available. And it seems like there's only 2 options for who gets that number. Endrick or Gonzalo Garcia. Now, in my opinion, when I just look at what the order should be in terms of the options that we have, Mbappe is the starter. I think Gonzalo Garcia is the backup. And I think as of right now, Endrick is third choice. Now, the reason that I say this is because Gonzalo Garcia was arguably our best attacking player in the Club World Cup. He was phenomenal. And I think in this Xabi Alonso system, Gonzalo Garcia has already shown us that he works perfectly with what our manager wants to do. Unfortunately for Endrick, he's not had an opportunity to prove himself because he was injured for the entire Club World Cup. Mbappe was sick for most of the Club World Cup. Gonzalo Garcia got his opportunity and ran with it. As far as I'm concerned, he is the primary backup striker right now. And we're starting to see reports come out that says Real Madrid prefer to keep either Endrick or Gonzalo Garcia, but not both of them. So I don't think the club wants to sell one of them, but I think there may be, like, the hierarchy is probably thinking one of them should be loaned out. One of them should stay. Now, the reason that I bring up that number 9 is because, me personally, I don't think Endrick or Gonzalo Garcia deserves that number. I think people are way too reactionary. Yes, Gonzalo Garcia was phenomenal in the Club World Cup. Does that mean he should just get the number 9? No. I think to get a number that iconic, that big in world football, you should do it. You should prove yourself a little bit more. Endrick, he's not earned that 9 either. To be honest, if I'm Real Madrid, I'm keeping that number 9 open for a year. I don't think you have to force it and give it to a player right now. I would wait. And then next summer, that's when I think you can make that decision. Now, like I said, Endrick has had a very bad few months because the worst thing that could have happened for him was Gonzalo Garcia being amazing at the Club World Cup. Mbappe, he didn't care because he knows Gonzalo Garcia is not going to start over Mbappe. Unless Mbappe gets injured, he will be in that 11. Let's just be honest here. Like, we all know what it is. But Gonzalo Garcia really impressed me. His off-the-ball work rate, his link-up play, his finishing, right? His IQ. He checks off all the boxes. And he's from the academy, and he's Spanish. Now, he has that going for him. When you want to look at what Endrick has going for him, right? Endrick, Brazilian wonder kid. How much money did we drop to sign him from Palmeiras? What, like 60 million or something like that? Close to that. I don't think the club are going to want to give up on him already. I think Carlo Ancelotti last season, he kind of stifled Endrick's development, right? Because Endrick, there were times when him and Arda Güler barely played. I remember in the first half of the season, Endrick and Arda Güler went like a month without seeing the pitch. Carlo did not trust these young players. So he didn't really get a chance to prove himself. Now, where Gonzalo Garcia cooked in the Club World Cup, Endrick cooked in Copa del Rey. I think Endrick finished as like the top goal scorer in Copa del Rey. I could be wrong last season. Maybe I'm wrong. But I know that he did bag a lot of goals in that competition. I remember him scoring the brace when we were playing against, forget who it was. I'm drawing a blank here. But I remember Sociedad, shit. So he did do, I think, decent with the minutes that he got last season, right? Every time Endrick came on, he did look like a threat. He was making good runs. He has good work rate. But unfortunately for Endrick, so far, if you're not saying that Gonzalo Garcia is above him in the pecking order, you are lying to yourself. Gonzalo Garcia has already proven to Xabi Alonso that he works in his system. And on top of that, Endrick is currently injured. Still, he re-injured himself. So Endrick is not going to even be available for the start of the season. This is what I'm saying. Now, it's been made very clear, right, that Gonzalo Garcia is a part of Real Madrid's plans. The club are negotiating with his team to finalize a first-team contract. Now, if Gonzalo Garcia ends up getting promoted to the first team, if we register him as a first-team player, what number will he get? Because remember, in La Liga, if you are a first-team player, you cannot wear any number higher than 25. So remember, when Vinicius wore 28, when Rodrygo wore 27, they were not registered as first-team players. They were registered for Castilla. This is why Asensio was able to wear 35 last season. This is why Gonzalo Garcia was able to wear number 30. So now, if we let's just look. Hold on. Let's just look at what numbers are available real quick. Because in my opinion, whoever gets that number 9, that's who the club are going to be prioritizing. And actually, let me do it like this. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's who I think the club will have, because you're not going to give the number 9 to somebody that's not. So let's look at what numbers are available. Again, so remember, you can only wear 1 through 25 if you are promoted to the first team. So every number is taken up until, Okay, so obviously 9 is available. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24. 25 is available. It's only 2 numbers that are available, bruv. Chat, it is literally only 2 first-team numbers that are available at the current moment. 9 and 25. If Gonzalo Garcia gets promoted to the first team, and if Endrick does not have the 9 by then, it's looking like Gonzalo Garcia, in theory, would be getting that number. 9 and 25 are the only first-team numbers that are available. Now, there is some speculation, and I'll have to try and find it really quickly, but there is speculation that the club are thinking about giving Endrick the 9 so that Franco could get number 16, which I can see happening as well. Number 27 is not an available number. In La Liga, you can only wear 1 through 25 if you are a member of the first team. If you are a registered first team player, you can only wear 25. The only way for you to wear a number higher than 25 is if you are not registered with the first team. If you're from the academy and then get brought up. But once you get a first team contract, in terms of like you get registered as a first team player, you cannot have 25 or, well, no, you can't have 26 or higher. I hope I'm making this very clear. Franco could wear number 25, but, you know, it is one to keep an eye on, though, right? Because they're saying that Endrick, by the way, I like Endrick. I think that he's going to go on to do good things for Real Madrid, hopefully. But my guy's off-the-field decision-making is horrific. Imagine getting married at 18 years old to a woman that's like 25. Brother, you are a victim. His wife,
she belongs to the streets.
This man is a nut. Anyway, he's recently just got officially, like, we know that they got married last year, right? She secured the bag. She finessed him, right? When my man is broke in about 10 years, this is why. Anyways, he recently had his official wedding ceremony, right? And now he's on honeymoon, but he's injured. So they're saying that Endrick has taken his physical trainer on his honeymoon to recover faster from injury and to return to his best version to convince Xabi Alonso. He doesn't want to go on loan. It's so crazy because my man is already underneath a lot of pressure where this upcoming season can be make or break. His wife is older than 20, by the way. His wife is like 23. Anyways, and they got married when he was 18. They got married last year, but the ceremony was this year. You can legally sign the papers and get married. Like, I can get married tonight if I wanted to. You just go to the courthouse, sign papers. They had their ceremony, like the big event, this summer, but they've been married for like a year now. He's an idiot. Regardless, he's not fucking around. His wife is not 20. His wife is not 20, bro. My man, first off, they started dating when he was 16, by the way. She's been with him for like 2 years before he turned 18. Imagine if Endrick was dating a girl before she turned legal and he was in his 20s. Imagine that. But anyways, point is, irrelevant, right? That's irrelevant. I don't give a fuck what Endrick is doing, right? As long as he's not getting in trouble, whatever he's doing is fine. I just like to make jokes. But yeah, it is just going to be interesting to see what the club does. Because even though I don't believe we should be giving the number 9 out, I still think the club will want to do that. So, again, if Gonzalo gets it, that says he's above Endrick. If Endrick gets it, it says that he's above Gonzalo. But yes, Endrick is a wild boy for getting married at 18. And his father has failed him. I would never let my son, who's a multi-millionaire, Real Madrid player, get finessed like this.
She belongs to the streets.
Shit is a madness, bro. It's an absolute madness. But now, again, in the comment section, again, Gonzalo or Endrick. But you guys already voted. 72% of people said that they would prefer Gonzalo Garcia. Maybe that's because we've just seen him cook. Maybe he's the flavor of the month. Who knows? But yo, guys, we were gonna talk about Rodrygo, but to be honest, I just don't have time. We got to go over and do game breakers, right? Me and my guy Edwin gonna be live very shortly. So this is gonna redirect you over there, okay, people? Make sure that you guys smash that like button when you get over there. Smash like button on your way out over here, right? Get in the comment section. Let myself know Carnage Raid, all right, people? Again, we'll be live in a few minutes, so yeah, it should be a fun one. Got a lot of stuff to talk about, non-Real Madrid related, of course, but maybe we will talk about Rodrygo over there. Who knows? But now look, big up to your damn selves. Catch you in a few minutes. Peace!